Right, welcome back. So we're back on the Skyline today. I don't know where I left the last video off. It's been a little while. I still need to edit everything, so yeah, it's been a story. But yeah, we've got some progress on Donnie's Honda here. This is starting to look pretty good, but yeah, I won't get too into that. Yeah, so today I think we're just going to build the fuel system. Basically just, you know, the up here in front, get the pressure regulator in, get the lines made up, get that done, and then I want to connect my clutch slave and the brake master. We've deleted the booster. I don't think we're really going to need that anyway, just due to space. See if we can get a mini one, but if we can't get one, it's no big deal. The brakes will just be a bit stiffer, but again, they're not really very big brakes, so I don't think it'll really matter too much. So yeah, that's today's job. We're going to try and get this done. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to put on the music and let's get this done. The kit I'm going to be using is our fuel pressure regulator kit. It's a black kit. So yeah, this one's just been in storage for a little while, so the box is a bit damaged. But yeah, we're going to get that onto the car. And yeah, I like this kit because it comes with all the right fittings. It's all kind of ready. Everything that you should need is in here, so it makes it easy to fit. But yeah, let's get this in. Alright, so we have essentially, let me just switch this off, otherwise I don't hear anything. So we essentially have a complete fuel system for the most part. We've got our supply line coming up from the car that runs across into the rails, going across that rail into this rail, feeding through there, and then this is basically the return line. Sorry, other way around. Supply line going that way around, return line coming to the rail, the fuel pressure regulator, and yeah, that goes in, set your pressure, returns back to the tank through that. So yeah, there you go. That's it. Fuel system's in. We'll neaten up these pipes, maybe put one of our aluminium clamps there to hold those together nicely. So yeah, just to reduce some of the vibration. But yeah, now we're going to move on to these are all loose, so we're going to finish that up, get those back in, and then we can start neatening up this mess of wires in the engine bay. Then the next thing I need to figure out is alternator, power steering, and the lines. And if that's done, then yeah, she shouldn't be too far from starting then. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's move on to the masters over there. Alright, some more progress. We've got our clutch master in, so that's all hooked up. It's hooked up to the slave at the bottom. There's the brake master back in with our brake booster delete. So we just cut the brake booster out. Essentially we use the backing plate and the spring and the internal mechanism, so it should spring back and stuff as usual. Look, the brakes will be heavy, but I don't think it'll be that much of an issue. I mean, we've driven race cars without brake boosters, so it should be fine. Okay, so the idea here with these ball joints is to make basically, just for mock-up purpose, you know, threaded rod. We can just use that. Obviously you wouldn't want to keep this basically afterwards, but yeah, threaded rod gives you a little bit of adjustment between the two ball joints. It's very, very cheap. You can get it in like meter lengths and then cut it to what you need. So yeah, I've got kind of a few ideas here in different lengths. So I find the best thing to do with this type of situation is kind of put it together and then figure it out as you go. You know, if you try and okay, yes, if you're an engineer, you can design something on AutoCAD and make it perfect and make it work, you know, from the beginning. But yeah, this is our, for if you're doing it in a garage, this is your CAD, your cardboard aided design, basically. So you draw your idea out first. Then at first I wanted to use cables. That was the idea, just, you know, run with cables. Then I was advised by the guy that does my cables, look, this will be a better option, because obviously it can take a lot of heat, it doesn't stretch, it's also a bit heavier, so it gives you a bit more pedal feel, and you can basically adjust it very, very precisely so that your throttles will always be in sync and that kind of stuff. And then once you've done and you've got all your measurement right, you take this out, you machine a piece of steel with thread on each side that's the right length. Maybe machine a couple more, you know, spares, and yeah, that's basically the way to do it. So this is kind of an example of the arm that we need. All right, we're back. So this is the next day. Right, so after some research, basically our initial plan of running cables and all sorts of things here became a bit of a nightmare. So we've worked out that this will probably be the simplest thing to do, is basically mount this here somewhere in line with the shafts on the throttles, and then basically connect that bar with the ball ends. So one from there to here basically, and then one from here to this side. So what happens is when this thing turns, we will then weld that on something like that. Basically, then this will be kind of like this, something like that. There'll be multiple holes drilled into this. So we will want to kind of drill like a hole there, there, and there. And the same on this side, obviously from the same distances, so that the rotation and the rate of opening is the same. So basically we're going to mount that there, cut it shorter, because obviously when it swings it has to clear everything, and then by doing that it'll open up the throttles and close them again. So I'm building this first so that we have kind of a system that I have to hold with my hand that might work. Then once we've got like a proof of concept in a sense, then from there we will basically create, see there it moves, we will basically create the mounting for this whole thing, which will probably, the mounting is by far the hardest part, because as you can see there's nothing really here in the middle. So either you got to make a huge plate, or you got to weld something across from here to here on the two manifolds. I'm kind of leaning for a piece of plate across here, just because it'll look a bit neater than trying to do crazy things, or mount something from all the way down there. And also, as you can see, if I move this, there is a slight bit of flex, which is not a bad thing, but if we brace them together, I think these welds will probably last a lot longer. So yeah, so Kate is here. Kate's busy prepping the welding machine, and she's going to do all this welding, and then we're going to drill the holes. And yeah, while she's busy with that, I'm going to finish up my battery wiring. Basically, I've got the original earth. This is the positive that is now too short, so I've got lovely new pre-made cable basically that we're going to use to then fix that problem, and then we can switch it on and maybe try and crank it over. So that's exciting, so we'll see how that goes. Kate in the wild. So I would start here. Yeah, start there because it's thick, and then work your way forward and then tack those two together. Okay, cool. So are you busy here now? Okay, yeah, same thing. Start on the hard piece and then work your way this way and across. I'll watch through the screen. It's only on oh, you got it down to 20. Jeez, okay, that's, yeah, it's fine. Let's see. It looks good. You might have to just take your time basically, because it won't melt as fast. Let me also, yeah, just the thicker part won't melt as quickly. Let me just cut your filler rod down. This is one thing we should probably do at some point, is just cut these in 3. Makes it a lot easier to work with. Blow it, cool it down. That's like 25 mils. 5 mils, so I'm making the first 2 holes at 30 mils out. So we will then mark this guy. Done. And this one. Oh, this tool is not. Yeah. These so bits are made of clay though. Uncut in the ground. We screw it up, we have to make it otherwise. Yeah, the next one will need it. Disclaimer, this is all Kate's fault if it's skewed. Not me. I'm not doing it. I'm not here.
We have to.
Okay. Right. No one cuts the fingers. I like that meme. Every time someone gets hit and the guy wasn't. That's what that looked like. So if one throttle starts opening more than the others, it's Kate's fault. Kate is like that. Okay. Although to be fair, we're just literally doing this so we can see how the mechanism works.
It's our design.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's going to go in there. So essentially, this will just be on here. Let's use the outermost one for experimentation. Okay. Okay. Another one goes that way. Yeah, which I still have to make. Okay.
You make that.
Yeah, you make it. You buy these ends and this is just threaded bar, so you can adjust the length. Okay, so that's basically the idea. Right, so this is all connected to the alternator and the starter and all the good stuff. But the problem we're having is it's now too short to get to the battery. So we need to undo those 2 poles and connect it to our new cable. So we're going to need a 10 here or an 11, one of the 2. Oh, hopefully it's not rusted badly. Yeah, that's one of them is cooked. Okay, let's just get in here. Just put this earth in there for now, so we can fly around. Really surprised how much of this actually went so smoothly because it's all Nissan stuff. So all the parts are from Nissan, so a lot of the things just actually kind of fit, plug in. The alternator plug is exactly the same. The wiring is the same. Yeah, it's very interesting. We're busy making up. I've sent the power steering lines away to be made up as well, so that'll be done soon. I actually start getting excited about this thing. We are nearing the finish line, so to speak. Okay. And then at the end we've got to get everything a good clean and get rid of anything we don't need in terms of piping and all sorts of good stuff. Of course, old car. Okay, so we got our. I'm just trying to put this battery in here. Oh, there we go. Right, we got our trusty cleaning machine. Probably a little bit aggressive for what I want to do in there, but put this back down. Let's see. Okay. So we've got to get this thing in here. Some old tape in here that needs to be moved. There we go. Right. And we want the contact to be very strong, very nice and clean. So let's just get that guy there. One. Get the other one. Okay, cool. Done. Simple things. Right, so now you need to kind of lay this in a way that's not going to be in your face. Then obviously connect all these things together, but they will now work nicely. Okay, now I think the easiest way to do this will be through there, and this one on the bottom, and keep everything, try to keep everything kind of in line, which will not be easy, but it will work. So this will connect the car's old systems and fuse boxes and control units to the battery, keep everything as the way it was. Makes life much easier, much neater as well, in a sense, because you're not redoing everything. Maybe I should do this the other way around, because that angle there on that wire is not very good. I suppose that's fine actually. That's just the starter connection. So you can actually see it. Okay, so I have to somehow get in here to tighten all of this together. Could probably use a lug or a fuse holder, like maybe 150 amp fuse or something, to make this a little bit neater, but for now it's fine. Oh yeah, okay, that's all tight. Now, moment of truth. Connecting to the battery. Okay, so I think that's everything that needs to be connected. It's not touching metal, so that's fine, just for a quick check. Let's see, we have power inside. Oh shit, the fuel pump's even running. Let's see if we, let's just maybe take out the fuel pump fuse, just in case. So fuel pump will be engine control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fuel pump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now. Okay. So the starter is clicking, but why is it not turning over? Interesting. Okay, so we've got power, we've got everything. And then maybe the starter's just old. Oh. Okay, cool. Oh, we still have tape in there, so nothing can go in. But hey, it's turning over. Sick. Cool. Good news. So that concludes wiring. That's pretty good for now. All the main wiring is done. Right, now we can move on to power steering. We can move on to radiator, cooling, pipes, all that type of stuff. But before we do all of that, we're obviously going to carry on with the throttles. So awesome, happy days. Battery's cool, battery's in, connected, wires are connected, everything's good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's very cool. I think we're going to replace the clutch slave because that was leaking a little bit, so that's probably going to be changed. I do have a spare in a box somewhere, somewhere here. I think I put it in the car. Anyway, so yeah, cool. We've got some life. Right.